Do you want to write an argumentative essay? You don't know how to start, what to do? This is the right video to watch. In this video, I'm going to go over different steps of an argumentative essay, and I will guide you to write a very good, exceptional argumentative essay. Let's get started. As I told you earlier, I'm going to go over an argumentative essay. And this is the first part of this series on argumentative essay writing. I'm going to explain how to write it, and in the second video I will go over one actual essay and I will analyze it. So make sure that you subscribe to my channel so you can stay tuned. Here we have a few elements of an argumentative essay that would help you write a great essay. I'm going to go over 8 killer elements and then have to plan and draft your essay from the beginning till the end, and then how you can just create cohesion in your essay. Have to have tense sequences in your essay, and then have to revise, evaluate and proofread your essay. Here, about elements of an argument. In an argument, a writer articulates a position, viewpoint, belief, or stand on an issue. Well-written arguments may convince readers to change their minds about an issue or to take a certain action. So, if you want to change your reader's opinion, you should write a great argumentative essay. Here we have 8 killer elements. First, you should have a precise claim. So your idea should be accurate and clear. Then, consideration of counterclaims and a discussion of their strengths and weaknesses. You shouldn't just talk about your position. You should also talk about counterclaims, opposing ideas in your essay. And you should evaluate its weaknesses and also its strengths. Next, you should have a logical organization in your essay, from the introduction paragraph, body paragraphs, and also conclusion paragraph. And then your word choices should be accurate. And you should have clear reasoning and evidence. You should have a concluding statement. There should be a conclusion paragraph in your essay. And your language should be formal and objective. And your tone should be also formal and objective. And finally, you should have accurate sentences, and you shouldn't have any grammar mistakes. In this video, we are going to go over breaking down the prompt. First, you have to understand what the question asks you, and after that, you have to develop your claim, develop your idea, what your idea is, and then you have to collect evidence, data, information from different resources, and you have to use research. You have to do some research on Google, on different resources to collect data and evidence. And finally, you have to draft, and you have to write your final draft. Let's go over these 5 stages one by one. About your claim, you have to answer these questions. I am supposed to write what? So make sure that you know that. In my own words, the question I must answer is, my writing must include X and Y. I need to use examples from blah blah text as evidence and connect my ideas to blah blah blah. So you should be able to answer these questions before writing your argumentative essay. Then, about developing your claim, you should answer this question. You should be able to write your claim here. I believe that blah 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 because of this. So you should be able to complete it. Then you have to organize your thoughts. Here, as you see, you have to write the topic, the question, what your claim is, how about counterclaim or counterclaims, and the evidence that you have for your claim, the evidence that counterclaims might have, and also your reasons and support for evidence and also for the counterclaim. So you should be able to answer, complete this form. It's about organizing your thoughts. And then you have to draft your essay. Have you organized your essay? First, you have to have an introduction in which you state your claim. So in the introduction paragraph, your claim, your idea should be clear. And then in body paragraphs, in which you provide analysis, supporting details, and evidence. Each paragraph of your body should focus on one idea and evidence that directly supports it. So make sure that each paragraph supports one idea, not more than that. And finally, you should have your conclusion paragraph in which you summarize or restate your claim. About writing a first draft, you have to have a precise claim, you have to address counterclaims, and you have to have a conclusion that follows logically from your argument, supports your claims, and adds interest to your writing. Now, to write your first draft, you should use some rhetorical devices. In this video, I'm going to go over repetition. As you see, repeating keywords to focus on your argument, parallelism, repeating related ideas in the same grammatical structures, and analogy, using comparisons to help readers grasp ideas. As you see here, in these rhetorical devices, we compare two different items in all of them, in repetition, parallelism, and analogy. Now let's go over them one by one. About repetition, using a word or phrase for effect 2 or more times in a speech or written word. So you should have 2 or 3 times of the same word. For example, here we have over and over. The word over is repeated. Home, sweet home. Home is repeated here. And there are other examples. Look at the examples. For example, Bond. James Bond. As you see, the word Bond is repeated. Let's go over parallelism. Repetition of grammatical elements in writing and speaking. It can impact the meaning of thoughts and ideas being presented. As you see here, we have grammatical elements, repeating of grammatical elements. For example, here, that's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, no pain, no gain, where there is smoke, there is fire. As you see, for example, no pain, no gain, the structure is the same, the grammar is the same. Where there is smoke, there is fire, there is adjective, there is adjective. So as you see, the structure is the same. Now about the differences between parallelism and repetition. Repetition specifically features the intentional use of a word or phrase 2 or more times in proximity of each other. So we have the repetition of words. That's it. But in parallelism, it can involve the repetition of words or phrases, but it also must reflect repetition of grammatical and or structural elements. So in parallelism, yes, there might be a repetition, but also grammar must be the same here. About analogy, a comparison by showing how two seemingly different entities are alike, along with illustrating a larger point due to their commonalities. So there is a common thing between two different things, and we compare them. Glove is to hand, as sock is to foot. Words are to writing, as notes are to music. And another example here. Now, the difference between analogy and metaphor or simile. The purpose of analogy is not just to make a comparison, but to provide an explanation as well, with additional information or context. So here we have the context in analogy. It provides a new or deeper meaning about concepts through artistic use of language. So here, first word is to second word, as third word is to fourth word. It's the formula for analogy. Sand is to beach, as water is to ocean. So as you see, there's a comparison between sand, water, beach, and ocean. Or here there is another example. Now, to have cohesion in your writing, in your essay, you should pay attention to your tense sequence. It's about consistency of tenses. When you use different tenses, there should be a consistency. For example, here we have different tenses. We have combination of tenses, but logically they should match. For example, the first one, I am eager to read the biography that you recommended. You recommended the biography yesterday, and I am eager to read it. So there's a connection and consistency of the tense. Or in other examples that we have here, I'm going to go over another one. Now that she has mastered French, Alice enjoys Quebec. So as you see here, present perfect and simple present, there is a consistency of tenses here. And also combination of different tenses. It's not just one tense. As you see, we have present simple, present perfect, future, simple past, and so on. We have a variety of tenses, but there is a consistency. And when you are done, you have to revise your essay. You shouldn't just give it to your teacher. You shouldn't submit it. First, you have to evaluate your draft, and you have to revise it. Here we have a checklist. When you are done with your essay, with your argumentative essay, ask these questions. And if your answers are okay or done for all of them, you can just give your paper to your teacher or you can submit it. Have you provided an introduction that establishes a precise claim? Have you distinguished the claim from opposing claims? Have you provided a conclusion that follows from the argument? Do you have a conclusion paragraph? Do you have a logical organization? Have you progressed in your argument? Have you used specific words, phrases to clarify the relationships between ideas? If your answers are yes to these questions, so you have focused on the topic and you organized well. Now, about developing your claim, have you provided any evidence, relevant evidence to your claim and also counterclaims? Do you have enough examples for each major idea? How about your word choice? Have you chosen correct words? Have you used rhetorical devices that I've mentioned in this video? And is the language formal? Do you have objective tone? If your answers are yes, if your answers are positive, you have provided perfect evidence for your essay. And how about conventions? How about grammar and tenses? If you have used tenses correctly, so your essay is ready to be submitted. And here, just some bonus tips. Instead of using also in your essay, use in addition. Instead of anyway, use nevertheless. Instead of basically, use in summary. Instead of plus, use furthermore. And instead of so, use therefore. So your language would be even more advanced. That's it. I hope it's been helpful. As I told you, I'm going to record another video and I will analyze an essay in that video. So make sure that you have subscribed to my YouTube channel so you won't miss any other videos in the future. And don't forget to like my video and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching. Take care. Hope to see you again.